Political ideologies making its way into schools across America, prompting a parent advocacy group to sound the alarm, alerting parents of the controversial topics their kids are learning in school. And joining us now to discuss the latest crisis in the classroom is Nicole Neily, president and founder of Parents Defending Education. Nicole, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
A lot to get to. Let's start, though, with this image going viral of a Black Lives Matter at school PowerPoint presentation being taught in a Northern Virginia middle school. So talk us through this. What's happening here? What exactly did this lesson consist of?
Sure. We had a family send this along to us because children were asked to pledge to Black Lives Matter, which was something that took a lot of families aback because BLM, I think people like the idea in general, but Black Lives Matter Global Foundation that has pushed this in a lot of schools, there's actually every year Black Lives Matter Week of Action in schools, is deeply controversial, pushing ideas like celebrating queerness and disrupting the nuclear family. BLM itself also has come out supporting Hamas, supporting Cuba. And so there are a lot of people who have a lot of problems with BLM. And so for this to be pushed in a classroom, it's a little bit appalling to a lot of people for good reason.
In a statement to the National Desk, a spokesperson from Fairfax County Public Schools said, quote, "This slide was part of a lesson about the danger of not listening to multiple perspectives. There was no pressure to sign up to support anything. We embrace all viewpoints at FCPS, and we want to ensure that students are aware of all perspectives. We are proud of our diversity and our inclusive culture." What's your thoughts about this?
Sure. I mean, I think it's, they're terrific words, but it feels a little bit hollow. And I feel like more often than not, when schools are caught with their hand in the cookie jar like this, they often end up kind of backpedaling. But would they have issued such an apology? And what was the decision-making process that went into actually integrating this in the first place? Because, again, this was flagged for us because a student in the classroom felt deeply uncomfortable with this lesson. And so I think it raises a lot of questions. And frankly, I'd like more than a strongly worded statement from the district.
Another story that was brought to our attention was this idea that activism making its way into extracurricular activities right now. In fact, a student-run Minneapolis middle school paper actually published a guide on protest tips and etiquette, and the guide informed students about what to do if they got arrested, how to protect themselves against tear gas. They instructed them to refrain from speaking on megaphones. What were parents' response to this guide?
Well, let's put this in context. This is a junior high, so this is for 12 and 13-year-olds as a starter. It also suggested that white students not speak at these things, that they basically create space for their BIPOC peers, which is also a little bit appalling. But why are we encouraging our children to go out and put themselves in dangerous, violent situations? If that is something that a child wants to do, then they should certainly be with the parent and not be told what to do and, how to act in these extremely dangerous situations without parental input. So again, it raises a lot of questions about what kinds of things our schools are encouraging our students to do.
And I'm sure a lot of parents are watching right now going, this doesn't happen in my school. They don't know. How often are topics like this taught in the classroom or incorporated into some of these after-school related activities?
It's appalling. I mean, we have a tip line and we receive between 100 to 200 tips a week from across the country. Public schools, private schools, parochial schools, blue states, red states. And so definitely the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And so we tell parents all the time, ask and make sure you're getting the answers that you want. When I ask my children how their day was, they tell me, I had pizza, it was great. I don't really know what goes on in the classroom. And so it's up to me as a parent to be involved and keep an eye on things because unfortunately schools are not always telling the truth.
I love that. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. That's so good. What's the phone number or what's the website that parents can go to?
Our website is defendinged.org, so people can see what's going on in their backyards on our map as well as submit their own tips.
Nicole Neily, pleasure talking to you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.